Hi, I'm Zubin Theril and welcome to this Excel tutorial by Amity Future Academy. In this video, we'll have a look at different ways in which a count function is implemented in Excel. Let's begin with the normal count function. A count function is used to count the number of cells that contains a numeric value. A count function would not count a particular cell if it contains a non-numeric value or a blank value or a blank cell. Let's try to implement this count function using an example in Excel. So let's write the formula is equal to count and select the function and press tab. In value 1, let's select the data range for which we need the count. Close the parenthesis, press enter. So in our data range, there were 7 cells. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, of which 1 was a blank cell, hence it returned 6. So let's try to delete one more cell and see what would be the count. See, it changed. Now let's move on to count a function. Count a function is used in Excel to count non-blank cells. Which means that it will count any cell which has a value, whether it's numeric or a text value. But if a particular cell is blank, it would not return its count. Let's implement the count function using the given example in Excel. So let's write the formula is equal to count. Select the function using the arrow key and press tab. Now let us select the data range, close the parenthesis and press enter. So it gave us a value 5 since a data range contained 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cells which were all non-blank nor non-empty cells. Now let's delete one of the cell. Since we now have a one blank cell, it returned us a value 4. Now let's move on to count blank function. Count blank function in Excel is used to count the number of blank cells. So say in a data range we have few blank cells, so it would return us the total number of blank cells in that range. So let's try to implement this in Excel with a with the given example. So is equal to count blank, press tab, select the data range, close the parenthesis and press enter. Since in our data range we had 3 blank cells, hence it returned 3. Similarly, now let's move on to count if. In Excel, countif function is used to return a value if it meets a specific condition. Now it can be implemented in two ways, wherein there would be a numeric criteria or a text criteria. Let's have a look at both of these criteria one by one with an example. Let's begin with the numeric criteria. Countif function in Excel is used to count cells that contain a specific value. That means if a specific numeric condition is met, it would return us this count of that data range. So let's have a look at this with an example. So example A is for numeric criteria. Let's write the formula is equal to, let's select COUNTIF. Now select the data range, comma, and let's give the condition. It should return a count of number of 20 in our data range. Close the parenthesis, press enter. So in our data range, there were 220, hence it returned 2. You can also use this with various other conditions using comparison operators as well. Now let's move on to the text criteria. COUNTIF function would return the count of the cells if it meets a specific text criteria. So let's have a look at this with an example. So example B is for text criteria. So again, let's begin the formula is equal to count if, select using tab. Now select the data range. Now you have to remember that, let me adjust this so that it is visible. Okay, now you have to remember that if a text is to be used or if a text is to be written, it should always be enclosed in double quotation. So double quotes, say we need a count of white in our data range. Close the double quotation and now close the parenthesis and press enter. So in our data range there were 2 whites, hence it returned 2. Now let's try to change or delete one of the white. There's a change in our count as well. So these were few examples of how count function is implemented in Excel. You can try implementing these with various other examples or using various other comparison operators. So that's it in this video. Thank you.